I never expected that a community college degree in creative writing would somehow evolve into me being out in the real world solving mysteries. I mean, I was guessing that with an artistic major like mine, I'd probably end up working out of my field. But at a place like a fast food restaurant, or maybe a department store, if I was lucky. But life has always been known for throwing curveballs, I suppose, and who knew they'd actually be worth writing about? An average writer with above-average detective skills, critics called me. I ignored the blatant jab at my writing ability to relish in the fact that something I had written had actual critics. My writing had made it through the never-ending stack of submissions to independent literary journals and other various obscure magazines, and was now being read and talked about by other human beings. To my own surprise, however, the biggest source of my excitement wasn't my first success as an author, but as a detective. No one believed me when I said that Mrs. Jenkins' death wasn't what it seemed. Even someone who talked to the neighbors as little as I did would have known her well enough to confirm that she had no living family members. She would wistfully mention the lack thereof during the awkward conversations initiated by accidental eye contact while picking up our mail. So when her body was found with a currently dated letter from the brother I knew to have been dead for 5 years, I knew something was off. It was all a bit too involved of an adventure to actually get into right now. Long story short, I searched some records, talked to a few of her friends, broke into her apartment, and eventually had enough evidence to prove my theory. Turns out, the angry letter from her brother and the very suspicious gunshot wound to her head were just post-mortem attempts at staging a murder. In reality, the sushi chef at a struggling restaurant downtown prepared some puffer fish incorrectly, and the toxins were enough to kill the poor woman, rather than deal with the consequences brought on by the health inspectors. They made up a motive and set up a scene in an alleyway. Definitely creative. Fast forward to yesterday afternoon, I received a completely unexpected phone call. A small police force in the town of Carlisle, Connecticut, who knows how, had read my publication and tracked down my number. They're apparently in over their heads with some kind of unusual case, and wanted to find someone who could give a second opinion on everything that's been happening there during the past week. Based on how small their force is, and how sleepy their town sounds, it's my best guess that they don't normally have much crime to deal with, and this might be a bit out of their wheelhouse. To be fair, it's also a bit out of my wheelhouse, but they sounded pretty desperate on the phone. They'd have to be, and wanted to fly me there as quickly as possible. I don't know anything about the case, but they promised to fill me in once I arrive and get settled. Hopefully they realize I don't really know what I'm doing. But hey, that makes for a much more interesting story for the readers. So here I am, about to embark on my very first official case. I have a feeling that I have no idea what I've gotten myself into. I should answer that. Hello?
Hello, Miss Pendrick. This is Sergeant Russell. I'm going to be your contact down at the Carlisle Police Department during your stay here. Glad to see you had no problem finding your accommodation, and I hope you've had some time to get acquainted with the police.
I'm happy to hear from you, Sergeant. I've been speculating about this case all day. The suspense is killing me. Ooh, sorry. No pun intended.
Fortunately, from what we can tell, your unattended pun does not apply. Yet. But we do need to move quickly to make sure it stays that way. To put it mildly, the past week has been overwhelming. 3 people gone missing, one right after the other. Only a couple days in between each. Our entire department is 3 people, for crying out loud. We're not equipped to handle something like this. What we're equipped for is either graffiti related or has to deal with noise ordinance.
3 people in a week? All in this little town?
We've never seen anything like it. The worst part is that there's so many unknowns. Our gut is telling us that these disappearances are connected. You'd think they have to be, right? But try explaining that to the county chief. Without concrete proof, he just sees this all as a whole lot of coincidence, and potentially not even a crime. We're getting no outside help with this, no matter how much we beg.
Ah, okay. Well, that answers why you brought me up here, rather than literally any cop in the state. That one was the real mystery.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures, they say. No offense.
None taken, trust me.
Officer Vasquez was the one that read your publication. He relayed it to me afterwards, and we all agreed that you seemed to have some pretty solid intuition. It was his idea to reach out. Anyway, let's get down to business. I'll be sending you some documents that we...
Huh?
Unauthorized call time expended. Please enter 4-digit PIN to continue to use line.
I don't want to sleep now. I need something for this. I need something for this. I need something for this. Looks like no one is using this right now. Whoa, what happened here?